So today I'm going to be talking about the nervous system. It's important for you to understand a few things about your mind, for you to be able to balance your life and your well-being, for you to be able to impact your overall well-being. When we're talking about mindfulness, what's important for us to take away is that the brain developed two systems. One, which is the automatic nervous system, which is the part of the brain that we activate most of the time. It operates about 92 to 96% of the time. And the other part of your brain, which is the conscious mind, which is the part that we activate every time we are choosing consciously what we want for ourselves. And this is the part of your mind that is connected to your wishes and your desires. So the automatic nervous system is the part of your mind that is fast, unconscious, involuntary, and automatic. It controls most of your body functions, from your heart rate to the speed that your hair grows, to your nail growth, a lot of the things. But most importantly, it's controlling also your moods, your energy, and it's controlling how you respond to life, because every time you're activating that part of your mind, it's when you are unconscious, you are reacting to the environment rather than responding. As I said, it's unconscious and involuntary, so you're not aware of how you're responding to life. So this part of your mind is active 92 to 96% of the time. So that means that 92 to 96% of the time we are acting unconsciously. The issue with being in autopilot is, as you scroll down, there's two branches of autopilot of subconscious. One is the sympathetic nervous system, and the other one is the parasympathetic nervous system. So our minds work in a way that they balance each other from sympathetic to parasympathetic. The sympathetic response is the one that activates the fly and fight response. So this is the part of your mind that gets activated when you are stressed. And it happens most of the time these days with the way we are living. We are living in survival. We are always activating this part of our mind unconsciously. There's the other part of the mind that is the parasympathetic response, which is PNS, which is the part of the mind that is related to and responsible for repairing, growing, and restoring you. So between them both, they balance each other. We need them both. But these days, we live in SNS. Most of us are SNS predominant. That means we're living in survival. We are living reacting, fully unaware of our choices, of our decisions, worrying, stressing. And when we live on SNS, fly and fight, we release hormones into the body that are related with stress. What happens in the body, we start to create disease, and we break our tissues. We start to create disease in the body. So that's where some illnesses come from, that's where stress comes from, that's where anxiety comes from, that's where depression comes from. So if we look at, this is my situation, I'm living in anxiety, or I'm having a lot of panic attacks, or I'm living stressed, or I'm living tired, I'm lacking sleep, I can't go to sleep, it's because you are SNS predominant. So it's the way we know, our body's telling us, you've been predominantly living on SNS. So this happens automatically by thought alone. So let's say I'm thinking a thought, I've got a meeting, I've got a presentation to my bosses, to the board, or whatever, and straight away I'm thinking about my meeting. I can trigger cortisol and adrenaline by thought alone. Regardless if the meeting is happening or not, my body will understand there's a threat by thought alone. I'm worrying, I'm stressing, and it will switch on this response, the SNS response, and it will start to release hormones into the body that signal your organs, that signal your muscles, that are preparing you to what? To fly or to fight. So we need that response. It's like animals have it. But the difference between animals and us, let's say a coyote is being chased by a lion, and then it activates that SNS response, runs away to try to save his life. And then as soon as the threat disappeared, the coyote goes and eats his grass and completely forgets about the lion, and it's not ruminating on, oh, the lion is trying to chase me, where's the lion? As opposed to us, we keep going backwards into and feeding what's going on. Yep, Belinda?
Ivy, can I ask a question?
Of course, yeah.
So if I have a little bit of that, CNS in my life, and I balance it with yoga, is that okay then?
And that's exactly right. That's what I was going to talk about. So can you see the scenario between PNS, which is the parasympathetic response, which is where we restore, we repair on demand. We have that potential. When that's happen, when we are present, when we practice mindfulness, and when we are choosing where to place our attention. So, and that's the beauty of mindfulness. Mindfulness activates another part of our nervous system, which is the conscious mind, which is a slower part of our mind, which requires a little bit of effort. It requires intention. It requires you to be clear and aware of what you're doing. And this is what happens when we practice mindfulness. We tap into the PNS, which is what restores us, what repairs, what creates homeostasis, that balance between SNS and PNS on demand. The body does it by itself, but because we are living in a stressful world, because we are rushing all the time, it's not balancing as it should be. And that's where those disease or mental illnesses are coming from, because we are predominantly living on SNS. So my message for you is we can tap into the PNS on the mind by giving ourselves a little bit of time through the day. It takes 5 diaphragmatic breaths for you to tap into the PNS, for your nervous system to signal your muscles, to signal your organs, to signal your hormones, to repair you, to restore you, and to balance. So the idea is to interrupt the frequency into which we live on SNS, okay? And to try to lengthen the time in which we live on PNS. So the more we practice yoga, the more we practice taking a few breaths during the day, the more we sit and be present and be mindful of where are we placing our attention. Are we remembering a lion chasing us? Are we thinking of that meeting and all the potential things that could go wrong on that meeting or that presentation that I have? So that's what mindfulness offers you, the ability to understand, first of all, where am I placing my attention? What am I doing? Where am I directing my mind into? You can direct your mind into restore you, or you can direct your mind into creating more threats. And that is up to us. Life will happen, things are gonna happen, but it's up to us to interrupt and to give ourselves a little bit of transition time in between doings and doings, demands, stress, things that are related to your life conditions. We all have different life conditions. Some of you might be going through stressful times on your relationship. Some of you are going through maybe stressful times on your career. We all have different issues, and that's your life conditions. You cannot go against that. But you can interrupt your patterns of thoughts and where you're placing your attention, and try to signal your body to activate the PNS. And that's, for me, the most important part and the most empowering part of learning mindfulness. Because mindful is to be present. Mindful is to be aware of what I do, aware of where I place my attention. Okay, so it's not only about sitting and meditating and go, it's about this is what I'm creating, this is where my mind tends to go, and start to understand your patterns of thoughts, your patterns of behavior, your patterns of reaction. Okay, and use your life conditions, actually what's going on with you at the moment. Am I sleeping well? Am I feeling rushed? Is my heart beating too fast? Am I sweating? Am I having rash flash? Am I shaking? Those are signals for you to see that shows you that you are living on SNS, that you are living mostly on survival. So sooner or later, if you spend a lot of time on SNS, you will develop certain conditions. And that's where anxiety comes from. That's where depression comes from. For too long, your body has lived on SNS. But the good news is we can interrupt that. And this is what we do on therapies. This is how we start. Then there's obviously medication that counteracts for that chemical imbalance as well. But we have within us all the resources available to us to tap into the PNS, to balance them. And that's all I want you to take away, that you can balance. So the more you interrupt your day, the more in between a meeting and the other one, the more after a stressful situation, let's say you had a fight with your wife or with your husband, you interrupt, you sit down, you feel your body on the chair, and you take a few deep breaths so your nervous system signals your organs and signals your body to release hormones that are not going to destroy you or create more disease. Does it make sense? Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, so that's, for me, the most important part about being mindful. First of all, because universe has provided us with two systems, the autopilot and the conscious. 92 to 96% is used in autopilot. So that means we're fully unconscious of our decisions, of our thoughts, of our behaviors, and at times even our moods. And we forget we have the power to be conscious and present, making decisions that are aligned to how we want to live. The conscious part of the mind is the one that knows what you want, that is aligned with your wishes, with your desires, and what you want to create in your life. The autopilot is a reaction. It's a reactive response. Fast, automatic, unconscious and involuntary. You cannot control it. Like you cannot control how fast your hair grows. You cannot control a lot of the things that happen within your mind. But we can interrupt it, and we can become present for a few moments to bring that balance. Okay? So
can you send that to us, Simi?
Yeah, I'm recording it, and I'm sending you this slide for you to look at it. Now we're going to move into the practice where we're going to practice this again, how to become present and how to start to identify what you are creating in your mind. Next session, which is next Tuesday, is going to be very powerful because I'm going to do a meditation on thoughts, where you're going to get very familiar with the thoughts you tend to think. You're going to label them, and it's going to be a very powerful practice. So today we're going to learn how to, again, become present, become conscious, slow our breath, and tap and activate the PNS on demand. You'll straight away, if you're present, you will feel it in the body. You will feel the ease. You will feel the peace. You will feel the space. In that space lies the power you have to choose your response. We need to create space in order to decide, this is how I want to respond. Otherwise, we are reacting. Okay? So this is my message for you today. So let's turn our volumes down or mute ourselves, and I'm going to start with the practice, with the mindfulness. So make yourself very comfortable on a sitting position, so you can support yourself against a wall or against a cushion, or sitting down on a chair. It doesn't matter, as long as you feel supported. I want you to become aware of where you are. Just gather this environment where you're sitting. We're using things that are happening in the moment to bring our mind into the moment. So we start by looking at, with our eyes closed, at the space we're in. Feel your body on the floor or on the chair. Feel the support. It's the beauty of feeling the support, because we are supported. Sometimes we feel we are alone. We feel we're carrying all the weight. So this importance on feeling the release, and that your body's melting down to a support that is there. So become comfortable again. Wiggle a little bit until you find a position that you are going to stay in stillness. Now let's take a nice deep breath. So feel your belly like a big balloon. And as you exhale, sigh it out. And with that sigh, you let go of tension, of stress, of anything that is not serving you. You might need to sigh it out. Now let's do another diaphragmatic breath. Inhaling deep into the nose. Feel your belly. Now try to expand through the chest. As you exhale, another big sigh, and with that sigh, start to relax the muscles of your face, your shoulders, your chest. Last deep breath. Feel the exhalation again. The breath is a resource, so how are you using your breath? Mindful of that breath. With the inhalation, you absorb all the ease, the space, the goodness, the nutrients. With the exhalation, you let go. You soften. 2 more in your own time, fully present with each part of your breath. Mindful of your body posture again. Is there anything that you're holding on to? Are you tightening? Or are you slowly softening, easing? There's an intention, and I'm choosing to be here, so choose. When we choose, we are activating that conscious part of our mind. I'm choosing this moment. And you let your attention go gently to the breath. And you're breathing in a way now that allows you to feel the breath. Feeling the air entering through the edges of your nostrils. Feel the air leaving your body. Soften a little bit more. Inhale to feel your lungs. Notice the activity of your lungs as they expand the back of your ribs. Try to release the breath slowly. This is the time where we are not rushing. This is the time where we allow ourselves to be fully. Trying to find a rhythm, a natural rhythm to your breath. The breath signals the nervous system. The breath is the messenger. That's why we focus on the breath. For as long as you're feeling, seeing, sensing the breath, you know you're still here. So you're using your breath as an anchor. If you get lost, you return consciously. Slowly bring in also a soft awareness to the areas in your body that are feeling tense today, or tight, or rigid. That's where you have been accumulating the stress, the worry. So intentionally soften your areas to help to repair the tissues. And see what happens when you soften, fully aware of the response. You're breathing in and you know you're breathing in. you're breathing out, you know that you're breathing out. And this is simple exercise. But notice if for you it's hard. Don't judge, just understand. Choose to return, to commit to this practice, to balance your life. You might try to have a little bit of a curiosity approach to the breath, where you could feel the details. There might be a temperature to your breath. Might be a texture. Is it short? Is it long? Is it deep? Is it reaching every cell? Is it steady? Where is your breath right now? Is it in your belly, chest, shoulders, ribs, mouth? Continue to sink into the support, so let go, soften, melt, surrender. Let go of the need to be busy. Let go of the need to be doing, knowing that this is a great complement to your life. Letting go of the breath, and just notice where your attention goes. So don't force it back into the breath, just notice where your attention is going naturally. Notice if your mind begins to wander. And keep choosing where you want to be. What else can you sense in this moment? What experiences can you gather? Maybe there's a sound that is catching your attention. Maybe there's a feeling that is catching your attention. This moment is simple, and simple is okay. You need simple. So be okay with not doing anything else. Enjoy the simplicity. Enjoy the simplicity of this moment just as it is. Because if we can enjoy the simplicity of each moment, then we can live our life fully. Because our lives is built by each moment, big ones and small ones. Open to receive the breath, staying with this parasympathetic response which you activated with your own intention, and choosing to stay here a little bit longer so you could balance, knowing that each breath that goes by is healing you, is restoring you, is signaling your body to repair you, to release hormones that are building on immunity, growth. More white cells get produced. Cortisol levels and adrenaline naturally reduce and fully disappeared. Notice what it feels to be on PNS. What does it feel like? Soften a little bit more. This quiet, your mind is settling. It's decluttering from thoughts and activity. It's spacious and free. Notice your whole body. Notice the breath one more time. Deep breath in, taking one generous breath. Exhale, big sigh. Slowly gather again where you are, the walls, the space, maybe the light. Start to bring movement back into your body. I want you to pay attention to the contrast between the stillness and the movement and how it feels to move again. Again, mindfulness offers us the opportunity to gather things that we normally overlook and take for granted. Movement is one thing. So notice how it feels to move. We're expanding our senses, we're expanding our ability to see what is, to be grateful for simple things. Moving a little more, other parts of the body that you need to move. Your body will guide you. And this is what happens when you're present and conscious and you've been on PNS for a while. You can feel the need that your body has. You can see and hear clearly the messages that are telling you this is what's going on in your life. This is what you need. Lastly, you can gently open your eyes and see what you see. If you're lying down, you can make your way back to sitting. Okay, so any questions about the practice in general? How did it feel?
It was good.
Oh, good.
Did you manage to feel relaxed a little bit?
Yeah.
Switch off? Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe small amount.
That's okay. No judging. That's okay to know. It's a slow amount. The more we practice, the more we train. It's the mind is the muscle in between our ears. I don't know if I said it last time. So it needs training. Like we go to the gym and do the weights and we train our body, so we train our mind. So you just need to look at another muscle that this takes repetition, takes consistency, takes a little bit of effort. The more you do it, the easier it will become. But for now, it's better to take at least 2 minutes, 1 minute. I say 3 breaths to 5 breaths is all you need to signal that PNS. So as often as you can, I am going to support you with a meditation that I recorded. It's the 90-second meditation, which I call Stop and Pause, which I send to high performance and a lot of people that are very, very busy that I'm coaching to use in between transitions. Okay, so in between meeting and meeting, in between coming from work and showing up at home, how I need to show up. So again, you trigger that PNS and you are not reacting to the next event that you have. Rather, you're responding with that state of consciousness and awareness and choice. So I'll send you all of that by email. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to keep emailing me and I'm here to support you. Okay? You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll see you on Friday for yoga.
Yeah.
Okay. See you guys.
Cool. Thanks, Tammy.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.